What's good, y'all? What's up? Episode number 1. How y'all feeling today?
Uno.
Orse.
Number 1.
My Sunday is going absolutely well. How's yours going, Deontay?
I cannot complain. Actually, I could, but I'm not going to.
I bust the windows out your car.
I'm too soon. I ain't even get my window replaced yet. I bust the windows out your car.
You gotta cover it, like you got like a blanket over it right now.
It's a sheet over it right now.
Oh,
I hope no
shit.
squirrels in there having sex.
At least somebody having sex in that bitch.
Hey,
Bro. Yeah, this joke's sick. But yeah, episode number 1, Manifestors.
Manifestors
feeling today?
podcast. Shit, I feel good, man. Sunday morning. Early bright Sunday morning.
Man, Dad, this your thing right here.
Yeah,
It's your baby.
It's my baby.
How you feeling right now?
How does a dad feel when he had a baby?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
Haywood, tell me.
it's two different answers to that question. I don't know if y'all want to hear the answer to that.
Yeah, no. But
Nah, bro. I
tell
feel
us,
good,
what's
man.
Manifestors? What is this?
Man, Manifestors, like Manifestors is a brand. You feel me? Like, to be a manifestor is a verb. Like, you have to become a manifestor. It's not something that you can just, like, say you are. You know, you have to truly become a manifestor. So, Manifestors podcast, this is, like, one of the avenues that I'm, creating to help people realize and understand the power of manifestation. So, we got Manifestors podcast, you got Manifestors apparel, and we're also working on becoming a media company as well, helping people bring their ideas to life. And then we also got our shit, high level workouts, higher level conversations. So yeah, man, Manifestors is a brand. And if you truly identify yourself as a manifestor, you'll fuck with me for real.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, man.
But shoot, we can go on and introduce ourselves. You can go ahead, Dad.
Well, obviously my name is Devin. I guess I'm 25. You feel me? Gas engineer currently. Yeah. Shit, part-time stripper.
Tell the people your sign, Devin. That's what they really want to know. They say, what's that? What's that sun sign?
My zodiac sign?
Yeah.
I'm a Leo. What?
We're gonna start off the first podcast with a lie.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm a Leo.
That nigga crybaby ass Cancer, y'all. I just want y'all to know that. But we can move on.
Well, my name's Deontay,
You see that plane flying?
also known as Tay. But I'm a manufacturing engineer. I work at a seating company, work on processes and whatnot. The normal engineer lifestyle. Love fitness, love to work out, family oriented, 25, figuring out life right now, finding peace in myself.
That would make a really good Tinder profile, like little bio. like
long
that'd be
beaches
lit.
on the wall.
That's the one. You have to run that shit back.
6 foot.
But anyway, I'm Stanley. Big Aries energy over here. I will be 26 in 1 week.
Oh, the
Hey.
fuck.
So definitely feeling a little old, but otherwise, yeah, hanging out in the city, living by myself, and kind of doing my big one. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
What up, y'all? You know what I'm saying? It's Haywood. Just Haywood. just Haywood.
Just Haywood.
But I'm an ops manager over like data analytics over at Amazon. So that's what I do. I do real estate. I'm trying to venture out, become the best me possible. You know what I mean? And live life to the fullest.
How old are you?
Shit. That's a secret.
I think you like 32.
At least.
At least 47.
With that chin strap.
First of all, he been growing a beard since he been 2. So
But no, hey.
Must be nice.
Wow. My bad, bro. At least you got all 4 windows in your car right now.
yeah.
And 4 right tires. I got the wrong tire on. It's bad right now. That whole whip.
It's about perception.
Yeah, it is. I ain't tripping. It is what it is. Another day.
It's okay.
It is what
Could
it
have a
is.
Twilight truck.
Yo. That's funny.
All right, man.
So anyway, obviously we want to keep the folks entertained before we get too much into the like real nitty gritty. And so that's where I guess my job comes in, and we kind of start off on a little bit of a more lighthearted note, but I think the conversation can get deep. And I wanted to kind of loop in some of today's trending topics, which, it has been kind of dry in the media and the pop culture scene a little bit. Not going to hold you up, but one thing that definitely has come to, basically has been up and down my timeline and my feed, and I guess sparks a greater conversation, right, is Miss Angela White, a.k.a. Black China. You kind of know her.
Black China, a.k.a. Angela White.
Yeah, no, she claims, she said, call her Angela White. She is over the being called Black China and the whole personality that comes with that. She's gone, and, if you know about what she's been doing recently, getting rid of those face fillers, getting rid of those, fake boobs, fake butt, and just kind of normalizing her body and her image. And I think that, one, it says a little bit about, what's going on when it comes to like pop culture and like the, females and kind of, their body standards and images and things like that. So I wanted to get you guys' take on, the current state of, women and kind of what goes into why they body modify, and where that pressure comes from, and maybe why are we seeing less of it, or, people going back, nowadays.
Haywood, go first.
Not Haywood being the expert.
Haywood about to go first. I guess technically I'm the expert, but
I guess I'll go first then. So, I would like to say, I feel like nobody should try to modify themselves to try to fit somebody else's, view of what they feel is, beautiful. I feel like a lot of people are trying to fit into, social media standards and stuff like that. So that's why a lot of people, they tend to try to make themselves look like perfect all the time. They try to make themselves look like this Instagram model or that, or I have to do this to myself to make myself get this many likes. I feel like a lot of it is just insecurities within themselves. They think that they're not not enough, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Or some people just actually want to do it. I know plenty of females who are like, yeah, I wanted bigger boobs since forever, and more power to you if that's what you want, you know what I mean, and everything else like that, and you actually crave it, and it's not from an outside factor. I have no, issues with it. I ain't got no issues with it because that's not my life. I'm gonna do me. So whatever you want to do to your body, that's on you. I really don't care. But, with all of that being said, I would definitely say, just I really don't have a say in the issue. You know what I mean? Because it's just it's not my body, it's not my place. Yeah. Whatever you want to do and everything else like that, that's perfectly fine. But for me, it's just more so making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Yeah. If you do it for the right reasons and stuff like that, boom, you're good. But I feel like a lot of people are getting it undone or reversed and everything else like that because they did it for the wrong reasons. They did it to try to become popular, to try to fit in, to try to do this, and they didn't do it for themselves. And now they're looking at themselves 5-10 years later like, dang, my back hurt. Yeah. I done got these 34 double G's. You know what I mean? Double, they got the, you know what I'm saying? Double F's type stuff. And now your back hurt. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I feel like, God gave you what you needed to work with. Yeah. Go be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At the end of the day, don't be mad at what you got. Just try to maximize yourself and let your personality show. And that's really what true beauty comes from. You know what I'm saying? True personality. Because it's just all the stuff on social media is fake anyways. You know what I mean? So you doing all this stuff to yourself to get likes from people who don't matter, just to validate yourself. So I don't know. I could keep going, but I'm gonna pass it off to my man Stanley.
Actually, I think I should go last personally because I think there's a few points that Haywood touched on that I'd like to circle back on. But Devin, what are your thoughts about all the basically what we've been over and your thoughts on women's body modifications, beauty standards when it comes to women, and obviously, you'll have a future wife one day, you'll have a daughter, you date women, and that you have an opinion because you're involved with women. So, I'm curious as to what your thoughts are.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there. I might say some off the wall shit. Disclaimer. Your body, your choice. Don't let what nobody say stop you. Your body, your choice. I don't care. But for me, I don't go for that. Straight. You feel me? Yeah. It's kind of like Play-Doh. You know, like disclaimer. They say fun to play with, not to eat. Ooh.
Okay, valid.
Okay. No, it's like fun to play with, fun to look at, but it's not for me.
Okay, I understand that.
It's just not for me.
Definitely respect it.
Like y'all already know my type. I go for like the natural women.
Yeah,
That's just me.
everybody got their preference. I mean,
And I feel like you can achieve that same ass that you pay for, that 10K for. Put 10K in like healthy foods, gym memberships, gym equipment, gym outfits. You feel me? Like buy your body gold gym outfit and just work your way to being able to fit in that.
Our generation's so lazy though. People don't want to put in the work.
we all want it to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, bro, you have to go through the process. That's where the real growth happens. Like, you buying it, you're not really going to appreciate your body, you feel me? Because women are out here still getting BBLs, but still not working out. Like, in a couple of years, it's either you going to get another one, or you just going to look sloppy. Or you just about to check it out, just like Black China. But I don't know. That's just me.
You think that's why she's kind of going and kind of making these changes because it's just getting old? Like, it's not sustainable?
I'm not her.
That's true.
I'm not her. I can, have my opinion on it. I can say probably she realized, like, she's getting up there in age. She's probably trying to settle down. And the men at that status level, they're not going for that.
So you think it's driven by a man's opinion, though?
And plus, she has that reputation. Yeah. But I'm not her. I don't know what she's doing it for. So
Yeah.
I can only assume.
Tay, what are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much similar to what Wood and Dev said. It's cool and all. I mean, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons, like if that's something you truly feel like you need to do for yourself, then do it. But at the same time, like, it starts with being secure in yourself. Yeah. Like if you aren't secure in yourself, then you're gonna go and try to do something that's like, oh, this might give me more looks or more likes or whatever, just because like society says bigger breast or bigger butt is like the better thing, or like let me get this snatch waist. But when really all this can be earned, probably not bigger breasts, but it could be earned in the gym. Like you literally go to the gym, be consistent, but like to that point, everybody's lazy nowadays. We just want it happening as fast as possible. It don't matter how much it costs. I'll figure that out later. But like, I just want to look the best and up to par just to fit in, just so I can get these looks and people will turn their head. And then it's just like, once you start getting that and getting that attention, over time you start realizing everything is fake anyway. So it's just like you start finding more value in just being you and being your own self. So I feel like that might be the reason. It's just because with time she just like all this attention, all this industry stuff is all fake. Like it's people be messed up in the head and they do stuff just to like, in the moment, in the spur of the moment, not thinking about the repercussions. So I mean, I feel like she might have hit a point where it's just like, yeah, no, it's time for me to be me. And she finding peace with herself.
I'll say, me personally, I think it's important that we get these, because at the end of the day, I think, regardless of how you personally feel, she influences people. She is a part of pop culture, and she, is an example of what other people have done. A lot of people have done the same thing. There's been, I think, allegations of like, for example, Kim Kardashian and other like, kind of like those celebrities known for those like body modifications and things like that, kind of, reducing that, whether out in public or in secret. But I think, a lot of people our age are kind of following suit in what we see, in radio and TV and things like that. And I think it's pretty detrimental personally. I think, you ever see like, someone who has gotten work done and it's so obvious because they did, obviously, they might have not gotten the professional work done. You always hear about these, underground, like, injections and things like that, where it can cause safety issues. So I think it's interesting, the shift that we're moving towards, and I think it's a good one. It's a good start. What kind of sparked my interest when it came to Woody and his attitude overall towards, women. Again, a lot of you guys said your body, your choice, right? You do what you want. I have my preferences, but at the end of the day, I really don't care, too much about, what a woman does with her body or what she decides to do. Do you feel like men are given that same grace?
No. Oh, I gotta go first?
Yeah, I mean, you said no.
I mean, you said you're the subject matter expert.
For the why?
I mean, because the way women downplay men. So in today's society, if you're not a certain height, a certain body build, a certain skin tone, have a certain amount of swag, a certain amount of edge on you, you not meeting women's standards right now. And they'll let you know that for sure.
Didn't they say Michael B. Jordan looked like
A cornball.
Yeah, they called him a cornball, and they said that he looks like he know where his birth certificate is at, or something like that, because he didn't have enough edge and stuff like that. So I feel like it's easier to scrutinize men and stuff like that.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Versus, because I feel like I'll say this, like even Stanley picking this topic about women, that's controversial. You know what I'm saying? If you say one wrong thing, you're canceled. But you say one wrong thing about a man, suck it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But that's just facts, though. You know what I mean?
Be a man.
Like, why you want me to take your picture? You shouldn't even have an Instagram.
And I feel like, that's the reason why this whole manosphere was created, to give men that voice. But I feel like whoever is leading the so-called manosphere ain't real men. They're not.
Definitely. I feel like it's a lot of hurt people leading like the manosphere and stuff like that. And then you got like hurt people listening to hurt people, because hurt people hurt people. You know what I mean? And it's easier to go like to do groupthink. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like go off of somebody else's ideologies than disagree with them. You know what I mean? Because like certain things that some of like the people that I hear say, like, oh yeah, I'm banging what he's saying because it makes sense. But some of the other things I'm like, I don't really, you know what I mean? So it's about individuality.
And that's the thing, like, so whenever I bring up like Kevin Samuels into like the conversation with like women, and as soon as I say, I agree with some of his points, red flag for her. Oh, you like him? Oh, you X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. You listen to what you want to listen to, or you react to what you want to. Yeah, sticks out to you the most.
Like I said, like I agree with some of his points, but I didn't like the delivery.
Exactly.
Like he could have did better on the delivery.
And it's kind of just like with politics, like Donald Trump. I think some of the business stuff he did was good. Some of the other stuff I don't really agree with. You know what I'm saying? And it's just Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a musical genius. Now, the stuff that he said about all that other stuff, I don't really agree with. It comes back to individuality and like, having like your own mindset and like knowing what knowledge to take and what knowledge not to take. It's all about like, a grain of salt type thing.
What's on your mind, T?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, as long as you're confident in who you are and you know who, like, you literally know who the hell you are, it don't matter. Like, women are always going to bash you. They always going to say whatever they feel, whatever comes to mind. But, like, I get the whole suck it up, be a man, but it's also important to have spaces where you're able to talk to other men and just get their perspective like this, just to understand, like, how do you feel about the topic? Like, how do you truly feel about it? Like, speak. This is a safe place. Like, I don't know. The thing is, I was talking to this guy. He told me, he was like, it's okay to be an emotional man as long as you're in control of your emotions. Like, people always get called soft or they get called tender, and it's like, bro, I'm just a chill. Like, if you're just a chill person or a relaxed person, it's cool as long as you're in control of your anger, in control of like your fears or whatever your actual true emotions are. As long as you're in control of those, you're not getting to the point of where you're reactive all the time. It don't matter what's going on. So I mean, I really feel like as long as you're confident in your individual self, there's somebody out here for you. Yeah. Don't worry about all these other people.
I think that can be the hard part, though. I think kind of just going back to the original topic of women and the reasons behind the changes that we've seen in, people modifying their bodies and things like that to fit certain form. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of it can come from not having confidence or being insecure about things that, we all have insecurities.
Oh, for sure.
I think one thing that, I think we still have to make waves in is, in a healthy way, addressing, the world that we live in and how it affects, or how it can influence insecurities within, men. I feel like there's, a lot of help or a lot of, I would say, accommodations that we've made to ensure that, the women population, does feel confident and kind of showing their authentic self. And I think that, maybe coming into the new wave is to kind of people going back to normal, right? In a way of like their body, but maybe also their mind too. But I think the standards for men, are getting quite, difficult to uphold, you know what I mean? And, I think it's a good, these spaces is a good opportunity for us to like kind of discuss those in a healthy manner, in, a way that feels safe and, controlled. So.
Oh yeah. Cause if you ain't making six figures, you broke.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a lot of unrealistic expectations for men and women. To be honest with you, I think it's like, but I don't. I think it's both ways, and like I'm gonna just like be honest. Like it's just like when you think about it, a lot of men have like this like thing of like, oh, all you got to do is just look good. We don't really expect anything out of you and stuff like that. So a lot of men are out here making that behavior and like the mentality of what women think of men. Like they're making it like that. Like it's a lot of like dudes out here like, oh, you're beautiful. I'll give you $1,000. I'll give you a bag. And then people start to expect that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's unrealistic expectations on both parties. You know what I mean? Like you can't expect dude to be making six figures, to be doing all of this, to be, buy you a house, pay your rent, take you on trips, do everything else like that, spend all of his time with you and stuff. It has to be give and give. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, if a dude, if anybody is making six figures, they're working.
Yeah.
They don't have time to just lounge around with you.
No.
You know what I mean? And just like chill out. Like, what did Drake say? What did Drake say? Drake's, you know what I'm talking about. It's more than life just sitting, just sleeping in and getting high with you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? You got to be on that mission and on that goal and stuff like that. I feel like people aren't really necessarily like driven in a line to ask for the stuff that they ask for. You have to be what you are in order to get what you get.
I think our standards are just high in general, though, for anybody we're looking at as a romantic partner, right? Or just people, period. You walk by people on the street, and I'm sure you can have judgments in your head about what their life is or their choices and things like that. But, I don't expect us to wrap up this topic at all. I'm sure we'll touch on it a few times during this podcast, but I think, this is an example of something that we kind of want to also integrate into, have these conversations, amongst like, 4 young black men. So
3.5.
3.5. I'm sorry. That was for the shot you took earlier. This shit was waiting in the chamber.
We'll wait till the recording's cut.
Okay. But no, man. I mean, I feel like it's time to get into like the nitty gritty. I came up with like just two deep ass questions that I'm interested in learning what y'all have to say. So the first question that I got is, what are 3 tips you would give your 20-year-old self? You feel me?
I think you should start.
Damn it.
Kick it off.
Go ahead.
So you want me to go like one for one, or just all 3?
Just give us your 3. Give us 3 things that Devin would tell his 20-year-old self, and then maybe we can think of it while you're giving us your 3.
Fear is a man-made emotion. We create fear. Like, we create scenarios, situations in our head that produce that fear. Fear is not real. You feel me? We just create it. I say number 2, health is wealth. Like, I swear, if I would have started this whole fitness journey in my 20s, I can only imagine where I'd be at right now. Like, legit. And then I'll say number 3 is believe in yourself. always bet on you. Always believe in yourself. No matter what situation you put yourself in, you can get yourself out. Yep. And so don't be scared to take that faith, that jump. So yeah, like I feel like in my 20s I was lacking faith. So yeah.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and evidence of things not seen.
Yeah, you're right.
Hebrews 11:1.
Mm-hmm. Preach, preacher.
But I say my 3. Definitely probably say stay true to yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't just adapt to the environments that's around you. Like birds of a feather flock together, but you don't always just gotta just agree with everything. Like it's been times where it's just been like I didn't actually take time to do my research and actually take time to understand what was going on. I was just like, yeah, I'm down. And I ended up getting the short end of the stick. But at the end of the day, God will align your path eventually. But if I just took time to actually make the right decisions back then and stay true and then just adapt to my environment, definitely be further in life. Number 2, I probably have to say that woman that you're with today, hey, man, it's not guaranteed, especially if you don't know who you are.
Man, I swear to God.
Like that, it's just, we put so much thought and so much emotions into like the woman we're with and just think, we're gonna figure out a way to work it out and we'll be good. And it's just like, no, bro, like take time to find yourself. Take time to realize who you are. Like if I actually knew that back then, I feel like I would have been further and closer to where I am now. But at the same time, life goes on, so I ain't tripping. And then the last thing I'll probably say, doing your research. So actually doing my research, understanding, as opposed to just pulling the trigger. Like if you're gonna buy a house, know what goes into it. Know exactly what you're doing. Know the environment. Fall in love with it. Make your safe haven. Or if you're gonna take a trip, like make sure it's with the right people. Make sure you're making the right decisions. Make sure like actually thinking about things consciously, as opposed to just coasting through life. Like when you're in your 20s, yeah, it's confusing. But if you actually put more thought into what's going on, you'll end up making better decisions. Yeah, that's my 3.
I guess it's my turn. So, I think my number 1 piece of advice I would tell my 20-year-old self is now is the time to be selfish. And, it's something that I know that even in today's age or, today, tomorrow, and probably for the foreseeable future, I'll be someone who dedicates, a lot of my mental space, a lot of my time, kind of serving others or just, kind of with the thought of others, you know what I mean? So taking time to kind of be an individual, be self-serving, and just, again, be selfish, in that time. I think it would have benefited me too. I would say, let's see here. These are a little bit more difficult than I think. So I would say number 2 is, I would say get your health right earlier. You know what I mean? Stay a little bit more consistent. Again, as Devin said, if I started earlier with my current health journey, I think I'd be have a little bit more progress, but I think it also would have given me a little bit more courage and self-confidence kind of moving into like, again, my 20-year-old life. Right. Yeah. 3, I would say, and it kind of goes along with 1, but 3, I would say, learn how to live with yourself and learn how to go through life and start life by yourself without leaning on others for, or like attaching yourself to somebody else. Cause I feel like that can be, you can be very complacent when it comes to, being attached with somebody and,
codependency.
Like codependency is, a bitch for lack of a better word. So, something definitely I would have changed looking back.
Yeah, so I pretty much like agree with everybody else was saying, like as far as like, investing in yourself. That would be like my number 1 would be like investing in yourself and stuff like that. Like I wish I had started going to therapy more, at a younger age, getting my mental health together. So that way I could actually like kind of like actually get to learn myself, learn my emotions, like learn practical like advice and tips and tools to like apply to my life and everything else like that, as far as like just like my mindset and everything, like investing in myself, like how you guys said, the gym. Yeah, and just overall, just like learning myself, taking the time to actually get to know myself, not going out as much and, like putting attention on partners and stuff like that. I wish I had made myself wholer and fuller and stuff like that. So if I could go back to my 20-year-old self, be like, yeah, man, just take your time, figure out you. Because you gonna change. You gonna go through transitional periods, you know what I'm saying? It's reasons and seasons for everybody who you deal with and everything else like that. Some people's seasons might last longer than others, but that the reasons is why they came into your life and everything else like that. I would say my second one would be building better relationships and bonds with the people who are in my life. I have good relationships with all of you, but I feel like I could have did a lot better job, from 20 to, whatever.
You suck.
I'm a real bad communicator. I'm a horrible communicator, man. So it's just not taking for granted those relationships and being like, okay, well, they understand that I'm working on myself. Actually communicating hey, this is what's going on. If you ain't hear from me, this is why. So at least giving people the option to know why and what's happening. And I've had to learn that, through the years of as far as growing and stuff.
That you got murked a couple times.
Huh?
I thought you got murked a couple times.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just you go a couple months and to you, it might not be it might feel 4 days, but to somebody else no, you ain't hit me up in 3 months, and you can lose a lot of relationships like that. You know what I mean? So it's just maintaining better relationships and keeping up the communication and not necessarily thinking about other people's feelings, but putting other people's feelings in your forethought. Dang, if somebody were to do this to me, how would I feel? You know what I mean? And that way you can't really blame somebody from falling back and everything else like that. I'd say the third one would be take more calculated risk, like how Deontay was saying, look into stuff, start doing more research and stuff like that before you do anything else like that. You can do a lot of stupid stuff, a lot of stupid mistakes just by not doing a lot of research and stuff like that.
Crashing the houses.
You could take risks.
Drive under the influence. You can get jumped.
Yeah.
Damn.
Go to Miami and get a call that you don't want.
Yeah, it's a dark time, man.
Yeah. But yeah, do take more calculated
find brothers. No.
Yeah. We are brother. Anyway.
Welcome back from I'm sorry, go ahead, do your thing. Yeah.
That won't sound like a bitch.
Welcome back from a brief intermission.
He would have to take a dump.
Yeah.
You gotta go take a shit.
But no, we left on at the end of question 1. So I feel like we can go ahead and move on to question number 2. Yeah. So question number 2 is, what are 3 things that you're doing today that your 30-year-old self will thank you for? So I feel like it's only right that I go ahead and start this off right quick.
Yes. Thank you for taking ownership.
No, that's no problem. So I say number 1, my focus on my health. Truly focusing on my health. Fitness, my physical health, mental, emotional, spiritual health. Number 2, I'll say being more present in the moment. Truly focusing on being here. Whatever situation I'm in, being there. Not thinking about other stuff. And then I'll say number 3, just truly being disciplined and manifesting my dreams. Because for so long, I feel like I've been sitting on so many good ideas, but I ain't do shit with it. So now I'm truly just manifesting my shit. So those are my 3.
I have to say my 3 would have to be finding peace with yourself. Truly figuring out how to be alone, figure out what triggers you, what's your problems, focus on working on those, and actually be proactive and really just aligning yourself with your goals in life, your purpose. And I don't know, and I would definitely, once I hit 30, it's really gonna be a dang, bro. You know how far you've come, because going from codependency to not knowing who you are to jumping on the bandwagon, whatever's going on, it's just finally bought in. Be all right, bro, you did something. Good job.
You got
it. Yeah, you good. You good, bro. You smooth. But number 2, I'd probably say cherishing relationships, while you have them. Mm-hmm. So spending times like these with the people that you truly value, and actually genuinely letting them know, hey, bro, I appreciate you for real. Yeah. I love you, on some real stuff, as opposed to waiting until it's too late or something, God forbid, happen.
I love you too.
Love you, bro. Love all your horse. But and then number 3, I have to say investing in yourself. Like I'm actually pulling the trigger on the things I gave thought, do research on, understand what's going on, and just do it. Like whether it's a new hobby, whether it's something that you've been sitting on, like an idea you have for a minute, but just actually doing it, putting in the work, giving 100%, and just knowing no matter what, it'll work out.
I feel like that deserves snaps. You got real deep
Appreciate
there. You know, I'd say a lot of mine, you know, things that I know that I'm doing now that my 30-year-old self would thank me for would probably just be kind of closely tied to what I wish I started earlier when I was like in my 20s or when I was 20. Obviously, kind of being, you know, the single piece and like learning how to operate as an individual. That was, you know, something I mentioned, and I think that's something I'm doing now that, you know, I'm kind of hoping to squash that bug, you know what I mean, to kind of live out and have that experience of being, you know, by myself so I can build the solid foundation so that when I'm like, you know, onto, you know, the person I want to be with for the rest of my life, I don't have that itch for, oh, the excitement or I wish I did that or I wish did, you know, I feel like that is what kills a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages. And, you know, when they get into the kind of the complacency and the routine and like, dang, you know, how was it being single? I should have did that, you know, this, that, and the third. So there's that piece, which I'm trying to get out the way, honestly. I think, obviously, kind of, again, leaning into my, you know, fitness journey and maintaining my health and my appearance and being more conscious about that and kind of doing what I need to do in order to feel confident. Because obviously that confidence, you know, can be key in how you operate in other areas of life. So there's that for sure. And then I think, obviously putting in the work now as far as my career goes in order to establish myself, kind of, you know, in a sense, build my resume, right? And kind of be able to have a background that I can build upon, you know, even further as I kind of grow. So I know that there's a lot of things moving right now that I know that my 30-year-old self will be glad that my 25-year-old self is thinking about. And, you know, yeah, it's time to move forward.
Facts.
Yeah, I would definitely say like my top 3 would have to be, my number 1 would be not caring about what people say or think.
Fuck them.
Honestly. You know what I mean? Because everybody got opinions, and opinions is like assholes, and everybody got one. So
Some are brown, some are pink, but everybody got one.
We had that conversation earlier.
So anyways. Which is not really caring about what people think and everything else like that. Like I said, take everything with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some people do have your best interests at heart and everything else like that. So sometimes you should listen. You shouldn't be stubborn. But yeah, so just doing that. I would say building my network, because your net worth is your network. You know what I mean? So just like, you know, making sure like I network with everybody. Like, oh, I see that you do this. Let's link up. Let's possibly collab. Let's hang out sometime or whatever else like that. Because I like what you do. You know what I mean? Because you are the 5 people who you hang around with the most. And then number 3 would be taking risk. So like taking bets on myself, taking bets on, you know, what I think is best for me at that time and, you know, moment and everything else like that. So yeah, that'd be it.
Oh, okay. All right. No,
Pretty smooth.
Part 3. I see y'all. Smooth with it. But yeah.
That was quick. That was pretty
Episode number 1. Manifestors.
Shit, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I don't know about y'all.
I'm manifesting a lot of good things for this podcast. Manifestation.
I see what you
See what I
did. I see what he did there.
But yeah, that's episode number 1 though.
Yeah.
I mean, anything y'all got to say to the audience about manifesting? Any quotes of the week or anything that comes to mind? Anything real quick?
If I don't do nothing, I'm a ball. Go ahead. Huh? Lil Wayne.
Counting all day like the clock
On the wall.
Now go and
Get your money, little duffel bad boy. And that is
your money, little double bad boy.
Get money. Get money. That's the quote of the week.
All right, cool.
Get money.
Get money. But all right, this your boy Tay.
It's your boy Dev.
This is Stanley.
This is Wood.
Peace.